What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. The Houston Police Department has been working hard constitutively to find the killer of Takeoff. And many people around the blogging world believed that the shooter was a young man by the name of Cameron Joshua, affectionately known in the Houston streets as Little Cam. Now, Little Cam was taken into custody of 2 counts of felony of possession of a weapon, but they have emphasized that Joshua is not directly involved in Takeoff's death. Who then in this month-long challenge is involved in Takeoff's death? Let's play the clip of the Houston Police Department explaining who they feel is responsible.
Afternoon, everyone. Chief Fenner here with Mayor. Mayor, thank you for the support. We're here to announce an arrest, but before I do that, I always start with that human element. I spoke to Takeoff's mother early this morning, and my prayers, and I ask that all our prayers continue to go out to her and his entire family, his close friends, the city of Atlanta, and all of Takeoff's fans around the world. We lost a good man, and I didn't have the pleasure of meeting him, but everybody, the hundreds of people that I talked to, spoke on what a great individual he was. We have a special relationship with the city of Atlanta. I want to make sure that stays intact. I want to thank them, the family, and everybody else for patience, allowing us to work through the evidence and the facts, which is most important. I also want to thank our investigators. Here today, Sergeant Michael Barrow, Lieutenant Barnes, Investigator Ross Watson, and also from the DA's office, Ruben Perez and Matt Gilliam, who worked very hard on this case. All of our individuals, our divisions, our homicide division, thank you. People don't know the hard work that they do behind the scenes, the number of hours that they're away from their family members. So also the gang division, our federal partners, FBI, state partner DPS, and ATF. Everybody took a role in this investigation. We stood here a little bit, I think a month ago, maybe a day or two, and made a promise that we would get the individuals or the individual that's responsible for the murder of Takeoff in custody. So yesterday evening, we arrested Patrick Xavier Brown, 33 years old. He was charged with the murder of Takeoff. Brown was arrested again yesterday evening in the 14700 block of Sterling Green Boulevard. It's located on the east side of Texas. Of Houston.
So guys, as you've heard, Mr. Patrick Xavier Clark, age 32 or 33, is the person that is involved in this. But what is his background? Let's go back to 2018. 2018, Mr. Clark was in a connection with the February 2018 shooting at a nightclub along North Shepherd Drive. A victim in his 50s died when a customer opened fire inside of the business and security guards fired back. Mr. Clark emerged as a suspect in this particular case, but in Harris County, the grand jury found out, you know what, it's not enough evidence to convict him. Well, he's been charged in this situation in a very similar matter, meaning that if Mr. Clark would have been taken off the streets, Takeoff would have still been alive. But let's kind of look at what happened that night. A nurse came forward and said that 30 people saw what happened, at least. Okay, were present And none of these people left the scene. They left the scene without even giving a statement to the police. Okay? Which made the job of the police much more difficult. And see, this is the culture that unfortunately a lot of the rappers find themselves in. They're in the culture of representing the, I'm a player, I'm a pimp, I'm the Pookie and the Ray Ray stuff, and ain't no snitching. And then when something happens to them and they're not, and they've passed away, well, they forget that the family is not inside of that culture. So the family wants answers. The family wants these people to be brought to justice, even if the rappers themselves talk about that in their music. Even their friends want to know. Even their rapping friends want that person to be brought to justice because, they rap about it, but, when something happens to them, it's different, right? But then the culture that rappers push out is what people live by in the streets. Nobody wants to be that guy to talk to the police. Nobody wants to be that guy to give somebody up. All right? But guess what? It happens. And, a lot of people always talk about, we need to defund the police brutality and stuff like that. And then when you look at it, and I understand police brutality, but then when you look at this, when you defund the police and you let these guys back on the street, what do? They reoffend again. Because why? They feel like they can get away with it. And then you have a guy who's not trying to be, a person developing this community. He's not trying to do anything to get himself together. He's a constitutive problem solver. So what do you do with these people? And these people are the reasons why folks lose their lives. This guy is over 32. Now, I know criminals can be any kind of age, right? But if this is true what he did, how low of a person do you have to be? A 32-year-old grown man hanging out outside at a goddamn dice game with a gun, shooting people. When in 2018, allegedly, you've done that. And this is the culture in which we live in. And I try to tell brothers all the time, man, you really got to be careful what you're around. Brother Takeoff wasn't even there to even have any issues. You have somebody else who ain't got nothing to live for, ain't got nothing popping off. You got everything to live for. And then this guy decides, I want to be an idiot today. And guess what? Let me pull out the strap and start shooting. So now everybody suffers behind the issue, including the families. And this guy ain't got nothing to live for. And if he's free again, they'll do it over again. And I tell people right now, black men, I know that we have a lot of pressure to be associated with what's cool, with what is favorable, keeping it real. Because a lot of the chicks that some of the brothers like, they like the kind of, the hip hop kind of guys, the thug guys. Let me tell you that. You got to stay away from that kind of culture because of what that kind of culture breeds. It breeds people who are buffoons around you. Nothing good comes out of that. It brings the lores, the ne'er-do-wells of black America, of the Pookie and Ray Ray culture around. People who have nothing to live for congregate amongst foolishness and foolish behavior. And you think, well, I ain't doing it to nobody until somebody comes around and mess your life up. Why? Because they've been destroying their life ever since they've been born. And you ain't no different. People who destroy their own lives are going to destroy your life by default. Automatically. And the police were paid to do the job because folks won't talk to them. And y'all talking about defund the police. Imagine what black America would look like if you did defund the police. These guys would wreak havoc on people. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again for another episode of Slavery Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. I'm out.